So here we are. The FJ's been sitting in the garage all night, and looks like the temperature for the oil is 89 and the coolant is 91. It is currently 90 degrees outside and the time is 10 o'clock. I've got a 180 degree fail-safe thermostat in this truck, and I've been watching it and it's reaching up all the way to 195. I'm going to go ahead and get another thermostat and see if that fixes the problem. Alright, we're back and we've got some parts, or we have a part, and we're going to swap out the thermostat because I'm thinking, I got that vibe that is what the problem is. Now I remember that I said that the thermostat seemed like it was stuck in the open position and that I had a fail-safe in there. I think, see, this was 4 years ago, and I don't think I put a fail-safe in there. I think I put, like, it wasn't an ASIN brand, it was just a cheap brand thermostat that I put in there, and I should have known better. But thankfully I have that digital gauge on the dash that let me know when it was getting over that threshold. So we're gonna find out today. So let me bring you in and show you. Got it off of Amazon. It's an ASIN brand. Part number THT-003. And you pretty much just get the box, and inside the box is your thermostat with your 3 bolt holes. You got a seal. I was looking for a temperature range on here. Now I know they say 180 and 180 degree thermostat. Now if you look this part number up just about on any website, even Summit Racing, THT-003, it's a 180 thermostat, and that's my goal, is to get a 180 thermostat. I've always had good luck with 180s with every vehicle I've had. So unless you live in one of those cold climate areas, you want a 190 or 195, that's up to you. But there isn't any inscription on here. There is, I looked with the magnifying glass. It says well, you can see, I can actually see it now, TLD and a 1 inscribed on that copper that's in there. I don't know what that means. Maybe some of you do. TLD and a number 1. There's also, it looks like a number 10 right down in there. Can you see that? Maybe, maybe not. There's a number 10 in there. I'm just inspecting it right now. The gasket looks really good. Like I said, this is an ASIN brand, made in Japan. It says on the box as well. I don't see any cracks. You know, nothing that could be a production issue when they manufactured it. It looks good, looks to be solid. I'm gonna throw it back in the box right now just to keep it protected. I don't want that plastic thing cracking. I'm gonna set it over here. Now all we're gonna need is a 10 millimeter. Take off this cover. It's a hot one today, man. It's a extreme heat index today, so I'm gonna try to knock this out as fast as I can. It's pretty easy on the FJ, on the 4Runner, even the 4.7 liter Sequoia that's right there in the front at the top. Super easy to get to. Pop this cover off, set it to the side. Alright, so my thermostat is right here. Really simple. I got 3 nuts to take off. They're all 10 millimeter, the same size as what those were. It should pop right off. So you just need a 10 millimeter and a pair of channel locks to disconnect the housing from the hose. But before we do that, I don't want to spill any coolant. So what I'm going to do is, alright, this hose says 5/16. Yep, that's what you need, a 5/16 hose. Just fits right on there. It's kind of short, it's the only one I got. Dang it. Oh, we'll put her off to the side here. Here we go. Jug right there. All right. Just be careful with this plastic shit. I should have bought one of those heavy duty Mishimoto ones, but you know, life happens. Okay, it wasn't that tight. Well, you see me crack it open. I got the hose there in the top, and it's slowly filling up. It's gonna be a minute. Alright, so while that's draining, I'm gonna crack these nuts loose. Wasn't even on that tight. Alright, I was able to get that much coolant out of the radiator. Looks to be about 3/4 of a gallon, but it was all the way to the top. Anyways, I went ahead and tightened up the pepcock at the bottom of the radiator. I went ahead and put the cap back on. You don't want anything falling in there. Next thing we need to do is loosen the hose. That's going to be a lot easier to do while the other end is still mounted, because if you take this off first and you try to take this off, this end here is going to be flopping around. So let's go ahead and remove the clamp. I think this is the original clamp. When they're little, this kind of design and they're little, they're kind of shitty, but the big ones tend to last, so I went ahead and reused it. That's down. Let me get a little flat blade and pry that hose off of there. These hoses and the radiator and the thermostat, everything was changed out back in 2020. Yeah, just under 4 years ago. A little more than 4 years actually. There we go. Got the hose out the way. Quick tip while you're over here and the engine's cold, go ahead and take your fan. It's your fan clutch. This is on it. Pretty much any vehicle. It's got a fan clutch. Take it and spin it. Take it and spin it. See how it spins like less than one rotation, and it's cold? That means it's good. If it's cold and you go to spin it and it's like 1, 2, 3, slow down, that fan clutch is bad. Go ahead and change it out. No, there's just one washer on the top. That's weird. Maybe kind of helped it from falling off once you got the nuts off. Oh, I didn't leak that much coolant. Probably just a little splash of it. Alright, here's the new one. Here's the old one. The old one didn't even have a name on it. Like I said, oh, it's got some number on there. What is that? It says 82 Celsius 180. Yeah, see the one from Toyota, the Asen, doesn't say. Yeah, this is a clearly an aftermarket one that I slid in there. And I think it's not opening, so we're gonna test that out after I put the new one in. We'll test this old one out. Let's go ahead and put this ASIN Toyota certified part back in there. Real easy. I just wish, I kind of know why now they do it with plastic, because these thermostats, you can't just get any old thermostat and put it in here. It has to be shaped a certain way so that it can, not even really, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's got to be some kind of method here, the way these things hold on to it and keep it in. That's the only thing that holds it in, really. Maybe that's why they made it plastic. They know you're going to change that, you're going to need to change this too. On the 4.7 and the Sequoia or the Tundra, this part's metal. I like that, you know, but I don't see, you know, at first when plastic first came on the scene, we're all like, oh man, look at that, they're making that crap out of plastic, that ain't American. And then after a while we start seeing like plastic valve covers, and man, I got a Honda Civic over there. It's got a plastic valve cover, 235,000 miles, same gasket, no problems, you know. It's just like, we kind of figured out that on some stuff it's an okay replacement. I mean, look at this intake that's right here. This whole thing is plastic. They get carried away though when Ford makes a plastic oil pan. That's when they've gone too far. That's just plain stupid. That's on the 6.7 diesel. But just about everything on that 6.7 diesel is stupid. Yeah, these have little metal rings in there, so you really can't do it so tight you'll crack the plastic. That's a good thing. I had these for a good long while. I even had another pair that was straight. These are angled. I lost the straight ones, but somehow I've managed to keep these. So they work pretty good in situations like this. Get an extended grip on it. Oh yeah, that really helped out where this clamp used to be. And you can always, when you put this clamp back on, make sure you try to match up those lines and indentions. It'll do good for you, because that's where it sat before for a long time. That's where it likes to sit. It's like a little groove. Stick it in there. Looks like it's almost a gallon. Get out of there, sucker. Looks to be like 2/3 of a gallon. Woo, right to the top. Let me go wash this stuff out so my dumbass dog doesn't think it's candy. Born in the USA.
A few moments later.
Got the cap back on. That's on. I'm gonna leave this cover off until we get back and I verify that there's no leaks and no drips. Just don't forget I got the 2 acorn nuts in my back pocket. Let's get this old thermostat box out of here. Hooey. All right, what else? I'm gonna back it out and wash off the coolant that's on there, so and he does fall on the drive or as it's heating up, I know it's not stuff that was just sitting there already. First, I need to change my shirt because it's freaking soaked. It's like the engine coolant is slowly climbing to 156, 158, 79, 81. Look at there, it hit 183 and it just paused for a second. See, it didn't do that before. Look, now it's going back down to 181. That's what the problem was. It was the thermostat. See, it would do that with the other thermostat and just keep climbing and climbing and scare the shit out of you. Now it's back up to 183. So it's like hovering like it used to, somewhere in the low 180s, maximum, 189 type temperature. Now we're going a little faster. We're doing 50 miles an hour. That's the coolant at the top, the oil temperature right there in the middle. Yeah, the temperature was going up to like 200. That's crazy. And then you park it, and it would just heat soak. So there's no fan, there's no fluids moving around. Yeah. So it would just heat soak and the temperature would climb. I had to inch it off with this little light on. It didn't get up to like 207. I'm like, oh no, that ain't good. So I turned the electric fans on.
That would make that sound?
Yeah, that's what makes that sound. I turned the electric fans on and sprayed the block from each side right above the tire with water. And I sprayed it on top with water. That brought it down like 12 degrees really fast. That was yesterday, and that's when I told your mom, I said, don't drive the truck.
Yeah.
Now it's fixed. It's a stupid thermostat. Hell yeah. I love when I fix shit. Well, we're back at the house. The highest it got was at 188. I was just slow crawling up the hill here, the road. It's a somewhat of an incline, just going slow, not much wind going through it. So it got up to 188. Wow, big deal. So I parked here in the driveway, and instantly it just dropped down to 186. And it's just chilling at that temperature. So no problem. Doing really good. I got some cheap Dollar General distilled water, and we're gonna top it off, and that's gonna hold it until the week after 4th of July, where I'm gonna come back and just do a flush and put some new Asian pink in there and run that for another 40,000-50,000 miles. Alright, so let's do a final look over and make sure we're not dripping anything anywhere. Looks like the thermostat's holding up pretty good. The hose clamp is holding the hose on there pretty good. That's the only spot we opened up other than the radiator cap. That's not leaking. And the pipcock is dry. Alright, so what we're going to do is open up this coolant reservoir. If you own a Ford, this is called a degas bottle, and it'll be a threaded cap, but on most other vehicles this is called a reservoir, an overflow reservoir. Remember, you want distilled water. Now that's a little bit more than what I dropped on the floor when I took out the thermostat housing. So it looks high now, it's above the It's about 1.25 inches past the high mark, but it will go down once everything cools back off and this and that. And it's okay. It's not going to overfill more than that. And we're done. Yeah, it's going past 200. About 210 to be open right now, even if I take it out. Yeah, it opened. Oh, check it out. Oh, look at the problem. The rubber. So it's cooling off and it's closing. See it closing? It's closing, it's closing. Look, it's got a rubber seal on it though, and it's all worn out. Oh shit. The rubber seal on it is worn out. I wonder if that was causing a leak or what. It was actually working, but that rubber seal was no good. So that could be the problem. It was the rubber seal. All right, so now we know.